yeah, the original owners decided they wanted to retire and sell the place, so they gave me and my friends basically a chance to get our shit together, start a company, and buy it from them. So we started Co-opolis, which is a worker co-op situation. We're all investor owners, and we all own and share the responsibilities in the work. There's no boss or employee structure there. So we've just been doing that since, and that has, I did not think that would work. When we started doing that, I was like, yeah, we're going to buy the office. Right, that's definitely going to happen. But I'll go to all the meetings and we'll figure it out. And it just kept going, and eventually they were like, here's the price, give us $50,000 down, and we'll sign a contract, and office will be yours. And then we actually raised the $50,000 and paid the down payment, and actually bought it, which is still astonishing to kind of figure out loud. But like, that situation goes much farther back in my life than like anything I did in school. Like, that was just doing the work and engaging with the community, trying to do anything interesting, trying to be helpful. Lead with kindness, you will find the people that you need. And if somebody offers you a challenge, take it. I could have totally phoned this in. KT would have not even minded if I was just like, let me just tell you about my music. But I was inspired and wrote 5 pages of craziness. So, if somebody asks you to do something and you don't even know how to do it, just like figure it out, and you'll learn something. Am I getting to your point?
Yeah, totally.
Is there anything else I should say?
It's good. Do we have another question?
Do you have any thoughts or perspective about finding the balance of making artwork for yourself and then making artwork for money? And kind of like where, I don't know, just do you have anything to say about that?
That is a tough one. I think something I say a lot is like, I do get frustrated sometimes when artists are like, people should just pay me to make whatever I want. And it's like, architects don't just make whatever buildings they want. They make the buildings that people need. So sometimes people might have to be like, I need your graphic design services, or I need your blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you should do that, you should work with them. And that is the practical application of your creative skills. And yeah, you can make a good living that way. Like, we screen print every day at Oscillator. We're making t-shirts for whoever, construction company or fun run. It's like we make shirts for whoever needs shirts, but we're doing screen printing. And we don't have any, it's just Eric and Jenna, and they own the place. Yeah, so they took over their little business. Like, they're my best friends who are like doing this print shop, and then they ended up sort of taking it over from where they were working.
And then we were Dope Chapel with you too.
This was Dope Chapel also.
Oh.
Yeah, I was with them at Dope Chapel, and then they also took over Bigfoot and made it Oz Press. So, they were just living the work, and eventually that guy, he just kind of pieced out. He was like, hey, I'm leaving. You guys can have the business. Like, don't tell the IRS where I am. And we're just going to call it. So you might just, stumble backwards into a business if you're, like, doing it. So I think it is valuable and kind of honorable to do basic wage labor with your creative skills. Because the alternative is shooting for like the rock star artist thing where you're like, I'm gonna make the statue of Jesus out of cigarette butts and sell it for $1 million. And somebody might be like, that's worth $1 million. And that's kind of this capital sponge thing I was talking about. Like, if you play in the art game the way that the big galleries and the powers that be, the gatekeepers want you to, then you're doing your job if your art can sponge up capital. I'm sure that KT knows a lot more about artists who are between those two things, just like people working, doing a craft, people who are making a good living, doing awesome shows. That's totally awesome. Can happen. But like, knowing a skill, knowing how to apply it, very helpful. And sometimes you gotta clean screens for a year, and that sucks, but that's actually where I put this stuff in my head. Like, when I was cleaning all those screens, during COVID, alone in a little 30-corner print shop, I was like, why is everything so fucked up? I was like, oh, it's capitalism, obviously. But then I was like, wait, I don't actually know what capitalism is. So I started pulling that thread, and that's what got me here. And if you do that, you're gonna find crazy stuff that's gonna turn your brain upside down in a good way. Yeah, that's all I have.
Speaking of money, unfortunately, I feel like one of my biggest things as an artist is like pricing my work and pricing like my services and like putting money on the thing that I make. So I was wondering if you have any advice about something like that.
Yeah, definitely don't price yourself too low. Never undervalue your art. Try to, one way you can think about it is like number of hours. Give yourself a nice hourly wage, like 25, 30 an hour. And you're like, I spent 10 hours on this thing, that's $300. Or if it's like this big, it can be $500. Or if it's this big, it can be $100. Or, yeah, you kind of have to factor in how much effort you put into it, what it might be worth to somebody. Having different price points, like maybe make some cheap prints that you can sell for a little bit of money for somebody who doesn't have a lot of money to spend and wants to support you. They can get like a photocopy or whatever, and then have the original at like a really high, like a lot of money price. So, somebody might come in like $10,000, sure. It could happen, but I would say have a stratum of price points, try to make it something there for everybody. Have something accessible and cheap that's easy for you to mass produce, that kind of thing.
And always ask for more money. Always ask for more money, because the worst thing they can do is say no. So if you're like putting a bid in for a graphic design job or something, however long you think it's going to take, double that, figure out the math on that, and then ask for like $200 more.
Don't undervalue yourself. And
Ask for down payment. I found that out the hard way.
You have a question,
Asking
right?
for down payment.
oh yeah,
I was wondering what kind of music you make.
I make a kind of pretty unhinged variety of music. So yeah, I did this like country band, but it wasn't really a country band. It had like a bunch of like dancey kind of synth stuff in it. And since then, I've been making this like kind of dark wave goth music that's kind of dancey. It's kind of like I started making this. I haven't really finished this project, but like this is sort of a post-country music project that's like dark wave dance techno kind of stuff, and it's basically about the disillusionment I found like doing country music. Partially was like, I'm gonna see if there is any redemption left in the spirit of the American West, and I am afraid there is not. So this is like sort of post that goth phase. I haven't like fully released it. I wonder if I play this and it's gonna be good. Is it gonna go anywhere? So, and I like DJ and stuff, so trying to make people dance is like a big goal of mine. It's like weirdly hard to like make.
Oh yeah, so you might have to move the
Oh, that's
the remote for the TV.
this might be bad. I don't understand the computer.
I don't know what either is.
Why is it like this?
Yeah.
But you might also just have to use the remote for the TV.
No, that could be it too, huh? Am I doing this? Could you help? This is not important.
I'll link all this stuff for y'all.
Yeah.
For a little plain page.
But like, yeah, try to make whatever
And then I think, Chris, did you have a question?
No, I was just gonna make a comment about pricing, but I decided to just keep my mouth shut.
Cool. So it's 7:55, so I think we'll wrap up. So let's do another golf clap. And real quick, during your studio time this week, you need to make your materials list. There's an assignment for it. You can just put your materials list right in the assignment, and then you're making a monthly to-do list. There are instructions on how to do that in the assignment. So just follow those instructions. You just have to fold a piece of paper. You'll figure it out. Any questions about that?
Is the materials list just as a documentation thing, or to let them know
What do you need to make your art?
so we already have it?
Spend the money, it's $100, but like also the budget is infinite. So if you need more shit than that, just tell me.
Is it like running, like just I know we need to like have our list made, but is that kind of like a running thing throughout the semester?
No. It's like I need you to figure out everything that you need for your project and submit that so that I can put it in order so that you can get it in time.
Okay.
Because I already have everything I need. What else do you need? What else do you need when you're not here?
Oh, I guess that's true.
Just spend the money. Like spend it, even if it's not for this class. Take the money. Okay?
About like going into like a
Yeah, okay, one more thing, the junkyard trip, is that a thing that y'all would wanna do on a weekend or a weekday? Well, what time do you go to the junkyard?
When you got it,
What's that?
always? Like when is it?
Rules of the junkyard, I gotta figure it out.
Yeah, I think
To their whims a little.
just where do you say that and find that friend that
Like the store.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I'll email about the junkyard trip and try to figure out a time for everybody. Did you have a question?
Yeah, how do we get in this room? Like,
It's on Canvas, so it's under the business section in Canvas. There's a lockbox on the outside of the door, and the code's in that Canvas.
I'm not leaving it.
I'll send that away.
All right, thanks, y'all. Have a good night. See y'all soon.
No, I know, I'm gonna get it.
Shut up, you make up.